Good morning, everyone. This is the BDRP Early Show. I'm your host, D. Doss. Welcome back. And this morning, we're going to take a look at the weird week. What is this? In January, on Voting's Day. You ever wonder why all these days of the week are named after pagan gods and goddesses? Or even the months. And this is a very, very, very great day. Somebody asked me why. Nobody asked me why. I'm just freestyling. Folks, there's been all sorts of weird dookie going on in the United States of America. And I'm talking about esoteric, occult, supernatural, paranormal events. And we're just in that day and age. So, jumping right into it, there was a comedian in San Francisco yesterday who they cleared out the entire venue that this comedian was at. He wasn't funny from what I saw, but I'll play you a little clip. But there was some sort of a paranormal happening, the people say that were there. It was going on behind him, and this guy allegedly jumped on stage to thwart this paranormal event, right? Yeah, what he was going to do or what he planned on doing, I'm sure I do not know. But Mr. Brony jumped up on stage and caused a big scene. Then the manager of the venue came out, told everybody to sit down, then immediately told them to stand up and leave the theater. Then the security guards were asking for anyone who had pictures or footage of this event. Of course, like you've seen at the that concert that I think it was Ariana Grande had like 4 months ago, where a third of the crowd was like knocked down involuntarily by some unseen invisible force. And when you start diving into this Ariana Grande girl and what she subscribes to, folks, you know, just like I do, they're ranked devils. They're witches. They practice witchcraft. And they're doing it like it's something cute to do and it's something fun. But there's always a price to pay. And Ariana Grande and I believe that comedian at this comedy store are paying a price for their meddling around with that stuff. Folks, you're getting help from somewhere. Somewhere on the other side of the veil, within the ether, you have some force working for you. It's either going to be a force of a low vibrating frequency or a high vibrating frequency. We know those high vibrating frequency beings as angels. The low vibrating frequency beings we call devils and all sorts of other things. So the Chuckle Hut was the name of this place. Allegedly. They don't have the Chuckle Hut. That don't even sound right. Also in Capitol Hill. Do you guys remember that the video of the pink lightning that hit the Washington Monument? It was they say it was a lightning storm, but it looked like something out of Ghostbusters. And this pink lightning struck the Washington Monument about 4 or 5 times. When you found out what was going on in the White House that night, puts it all in perspective. You hear me talk about witchcraft a whole lot. And yeah, I know people think that, oh, well, D just has some sort of a prejudice against him. Maybe he's a little lost in the sauce on these witches. He's going a little bit too far and thinking they can do a little bit more than what they probably can. No. All throughout time, folks, you have these practitioners of magic with a K. They can affect reality as we know and experience it. And they do so by going through these various steps, gathering these herbs and spices like they're making a barbecue sauce. But the real magic comes in, magic with a K, when they have blood on their altar. They sacrifice something. Whether it be a rabbit or a guinea pig or a kitten, no matter what they choose to make that sacrifice, they are putting the life force of this thing before their God on top of that altar. And things happen. Aleister Crowley, L. Ron Hubbard, Jack Parsons, Anton LaVey, who convinced people all throughout the United States of America that Satanism was a club where everybody worshiped themselves in their own greed. And he effectively put the idea of Satan being an entity out of the mind of the American consciousness. It's pretty ridiculous when you stop and think about it. He did all that and had Sammy Davis Jr. and others as his high priests. It was what was in vogue back in the 60s and 70s to be a part of the Church of Satan down there in San Francisco. But folks, all those men who I just named, L. Ron Hubbard, all of them, they died in tragic and very suspicious ways. Jack Parsons, as you know, blew himself up. He blew himself up. There's no doubt in my mind these spirits that he was convening with convinced him that it was time to go to that next level. And they probably had him light a stick of dynamite and smoke it like a cigar. That and the alien thing, the alien down there in Miami, right? Everybody remembers that. It was all the rage in London a week or so ago. Everybody was talking about it, couldn't shut up about it. They're now starting to whitewash the fact that not only last year, but the year before that, on the same day, there were young men with boxes full of fireworks that came in. They lit the box and took off running, not out of the mall, but into it, further into the mall. So what's not strange is being made to look that way, if that makes sense. So let's see. I'm trying to find that video for you. I guess I could have had it queued up, but that would have been too easy. Here we go. All right, now check this out. And I'm sure you've all seen it. It's gone viral, from what I understand. Good morning, Kimberly D. It's all a hoax. Miss Annie's Vincent. A stand-up comedian experienced an unexpected intrusion. What a voice this guy has. When a man rushed onto the stage. A video of the incident went viral, showing Norman's confusion as security removed the intruder. Shortly afterward, security rushed Norman off the stage.
A video over on my other main channel. It's pretty mind-blowing, some of the stuff that's recently happened.
I don't want this video. I want to watch the actual video. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. That was stupid. You're seeing a whole lot more of this stuff, and it's very fascinating to me. Makes you kind of wonder what's really going on. The further we go, the more supernatural, paranormal things are taking place. I mean, I think you know what's going on, same as I do. But we have to be impartial and speculate. Play pretend like we don't know. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Mark Normand, a stand-up comedian, experienced an unexpected intrusion during his comedy set when a man rushed onto the stage. A video of the incident went viral, showing Normand's confusion as security removed.
Now, see, that's the jabroni who ran up on stage, right? There's now every other place that I could find is saying that this was some sort of a paranormal event, that there was a paranormal happening that was taking place behind the comedian that was on stage, and this guy ran up to somehow put it to an end or some such nonsense. I mean, who's he supposed to be? He looks like one of the extras on that Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Intruder. Shortly afterward, security rushed Normand off the stage, leaving the audience perplexed and concerned.
Buddy. Okay. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. Hey, all right. Just want to make sure everybody's good here. What's going on? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Hey, anything can happen at a comedy show. Okay.
There's where it gets weird. They take that dude out of there, but then they take the comedian. Like, I mean, like, how much sense does that make? That's the only thing paranormal about it, is that these people seem to be incompetent who run this joint.
However, Mark Normand later clarified on his Instagram stories that the disruption was a planned surprise activity executed by show producers. He emphasized that he had no prior knowledge of the stunt. The venue, New York Comedy Club, also confirmed that it was a planned event by producers for an upcoming show. While the
Well, what's
stunt
the
successfully
purpose? Like, what
generated
does that achieve? What does that achieve?
curiosity online, some audience members and Mark Normand
Shut up.
were left.
I mean, how stupid is that? So the producers knew, but the performer didn't? And to what end? Why would you want to run people out of your comedy club? You heard the confusion on those people. It makes no sense. That and they're jipping them out of their money. So I guess that's paranormal in a way. We also had an encounter with your favorite, old stinky Bigfoot, that actually made the news. Old stinky leg Bigfoot is at it again. Pretty sure it was Tennessee, but it may have been Kentucky. Oh no, it's one of those old Confederate states. But I mean, you know, just like I do, they're seen every day, so don't really add to a hill of beans what state it's in. Every landlocked state with water source going through it. What are y'all doing up so early anyways? Doing up so early on YouTube? Y'all gonna get y'all's game smoked if your boss walks up on you. News America Today. You know, I used to have it in my mind that they were actually going to have some sort of a soft disclosure.
Emerges from the shadows of a forest, only to disappear into the cover of trees once again. It's a scene that
Has been caught from the corner of 1,000
That's a bear print. That's ridiculous.
human eyes. However, many in the science community argue that no one
That thing before was a bear print.
is any closer to looking a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch square in the face. A data scientist by the name of Flo Foxon has shown that most
Flo
Bigfoot sightings
Foxon?
in the United States and Canada are probably black bears, walking upright on their hind legs.
Yeah, probably.
Botox gift cards,
Probably
wine,
not.
what's in the $60,000 Grammy bag? According to the U.S. Forest Service, American
Bigfoot
black
crossing.
bears usually walk on all fours, but will stand on their hind legs if it means they get a clearer view or a stronger whiff of something interesting.
And I've been known to walk
And
on
from
the
this
back leg.
position, they can appear almost human-like, only much hairier. This isn't the first time that scientists have suggested black bears as the explanation for
That's the most ridiculous description ever. They can appear like us, only hairier, huh?
the Bigfoot phenomenon. Back in 2005, one scientist compared black bear populations with reported Sasquatch sightings in the Northwest
That's a gnarly bust or whatever that is. Whatever he made that out of. That's pretty awesome looking.
corner of the United States. However, that scientist concluded that a species of animal other than the American black bear is responsible
That's
for
real.
sightings of this alleged mythical creature. In 2009, another paper from the same region of the country showed a high degree of overlap between black bear populations and Sasquatch sightings. In areas with high numbers of black bears and humans, more people report seeing Bigfoot, and this is especially true in the Pacific Northwest. On the other hand, in Texas and Florida,
Where's this Pacific Northwest thing? It was big back in the day, but I mean, they're still whipping that horse. These things exist in more than just the Pacific Northwest. Man, I can't stand doing that computer generated voice. Bro, I've proved like you can do a whole lot better job than that. You know what I'm saying? I could probably figure out a way to do a better job than that guy was doing right now, like in real time. And it's one of those text to talk AI apps. But even in that, I mean, like there's websites where you can be Christopher Walken, like, but you know, it's quantity over quality. This is YouTube. You got to feed the dragon. You got to feed the beast. And the more you have, the more chance you have of getting in the algorithm. Folks, not everyone is going to be like old DDoS and try to make everything some sort of a fine wine like I do for y'all. You know, I take my time and all that kind of stuff, but just never start playing the game, I think. They're just throwing stuff up there. Before, like with the emails I get in, you'd have to curate them. I want to talk to the person to see if they, you know, if they're lost in the sauce or see if they are legitimate. But no, that's not the way to do it. You put that quantity out there so you can feed that dragon, make its belly pop, and get in the algorithm. Because if you get in the, folks, you know, just like I do, there's a bunch of channels out there that got such ridiculous, stupid shit that it's unbearable. It's unreal. There's people with 1 million subscribers and all they do is unbox toys. They're not really going out into the woods and the dangerous areas that nobody's gone into for 100 and some odd years, trying to mess with monsters that aren't supposed to exist. Even though the state of Illinois has it listed, Bigfoot, the Bigfoot creature, has it listed as the part of the natural fauna of that area. The Army Corps of Engineers did that because they're known to pull jokes, the Army Corps of Engineers, right? In keeping with tradition, Flaming Tables Jr., Sharon Whitson, Keith Blunt, who never really gets to join the live shows, Tom Jakowski, Aaron Billings, Kimberly D. It's all a hoax. I know I did it when you first three jumped in here, but looks like we're pushing towards 20 on a Wednesday morning on Voden's Day, named after the heathen god Odin. Yeah, I'm like Flaming Tables. I don't want to hear no more of that chicken shit voice. Not when you can have DDoS's velvety voice to listen to. Folks, let me tell you something. You know how hard it is to edit audio and listen to yourself for hours on end? I don't see how y'all do it. What? Let's just look at some stuff. Let's just look at what else is weird. What else is going on here?
The best part was she was on NPR, and Terry Gross says, you used to be against gay marriage. Your husband passed DOMA, which made it a federal law that gay marriage won't be recognized by the federal government, and you changed your position. Like, how did that happen? Was it because Americans became... And Hillary's like, well, America changed their point of view. She goes, no, I understand Americans changed their point of view. What was your mental process? And she goes, no, Terry, you're saying that I changed my mind for political purposes. She starts yelling at her.
You changed your mind. I have to say, I think you are being very persistent, but you are playing with my words and playing with what is such an
I'm just trying to clarify
issue.
So I can understand.
No, I don't think you are trying to clarify.
Hey,
I think you're trying to say that
alone.
I used to be opposed and now I'm in favor and I did it for political reasons, and that's just flat wrong.
And it's like,
Hey, I don't know what this girl, whoever that girl interviewing her was, she better pick up a newspaper or something. Hillary will smoke her game. If you look at just Google up or whatever you use, look up the Clinton body count, folks. It'll make your eyes spin. Speaking of that, all right, we have another exclusive interview with Bill Clinton today, and Hillary's going to be joining him. Don't you know? Look at her eyes. Ain't nothing but darkness behind them. Well, bro, you know, just like I do. Hillary's been gone for a hot minute. Remember when they chunked her in the back of that van? Now you folks tell me. I'm gonna let you see it, and this is gonna be the last thing because I lost my list of the weird news because there was an entire list of stuff, and I somehow exited out of the tabs. So that sucks. I lost me train of thought. What was? Oh yeah. I'm gonna show you this video, and you tell me what you think. This is a dead woman. All right. They say passed out from heat exhaustion or whatever they tried to say. You can see the very minute that she expires. I remember when this first came out on the old channel, they demonetized me for sharing this and pointing it out. Didn't say anything crazy or crass or nonsensical about it. I just showed it. And watch this. And you tell me. This is a woman who is exited life as we know it. Became Thanatos. The sensation of life is over and done. Now, right now, that you see how she's holding up, she's leaning real heavy on this aid right here. Now she's starting to go into whatever cardiac arrest or whatever it was. See right here, she's standing somewhat straight. She's starting to phase though. She's starting to drift. Here comes the big dude. There she tries to take a step. Sees the angel of death. Now everybody, you see how everybody's convening? Look, this guy comes to block the way because they had to know she was on borrowed time. That's the only thing I can think of. See, she pulls up. She's standing up. She looks like a mannequin right there, though. She may be in rigor mortis. Big homie tries to come grab her. Uh-oh. They tried to move her. Boom. Dead. All kinds of death right there. Let me show you I'll show you a better film or a better piece of footage. There's one that has an angle from the side. And you can see the way that woman's head flops. You've seen those old 80s action movies. The only way somebody's head's flopping like that is if they're gone. They're gone on their way.
You think she lost somebody?
Secret Service may have broken protocol for Clinton exit. Yeah, they tossed her in the back of the van like she was a sack of potatoes. Threw her in between the seats. And instead of taking her, of course, to the hospital like, a reasonable Secret Serviceman would do, they took her to her daughter's New York apartment. And she comes out doing cartwheels off the wall. So, because, that makes sense. No, I don't remember having no plan like that. Get out of the way. Why do they start off at the worst quality? That's so ridiculous. All right, here we go.
There's people there that lost family members. They don't act that.
So there, it's the same stupid angle. I guess they got rid of all of them. But folks, look at there, death gripped right there, and they give her the old heave ho. See, they're cutting all that out. Now I'm challenged. I'm gonna find that piece of footage that shows where they grab her up basically by her arms and legs. Look at her. She's walking out. That is not Hillary Clinton, folks. Hey, look at me. I'm just fine. I didn't die, you silly billies. What's the matter with you? Hey, press. See how young and youthful I am? Send that kid over here for me to give her watch me pick her up. I better not pick her up. That's a clone, folks. Boom, right there. Death. The angle, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse. Probably not. But back to the left of your screen is where the other angle was from. And look at, damn. No, we're going to find that. No, they ain't going to do us dirty like this. We're going to find that angle that shows. And it's crazy. Like, she comes out of her daughter's apartment building, doing a balancing act like she's 40 years younger. Man, it's that same angle. That's crazy. Looks like she had a different haircut. Hey, y'all remember this when at GHW Bush's funeral, when everybody was passed that letter? How many people remember that? I don't even know if y'all keep up with the news. Maybe y'all watch old reruns of Flintstones or something when the news comes on. Who knows? It's just as viable, honestly. And it's more honest. A day with Clinton fans. There she is coming out all... folks, you got to laugh to keep from crying. The shit they try to pull on us and then try to get the American people to buy is nothing less than remarkable. All right, here we go. Look at there. Come on now, folks. You tell me. Drop a 1 if you really do believe that that's Hillary Clinton that came out of her daughter's apartment after she died. The head is a different shape. The nose is different. The hand, the length of the fingers, looks like the lines on the hand, the length of the arm, the width of the mouth. Yeah, they would have been better off just putting a mask on some CIA agent and having her collapse into another van. I believe it's a representation of Hillary. Yeah, it's a representation of Hillary, all right. Her daughter probably had to go to her satanic altar and conjure Lord knows how many demons into her to animate that body again. But, I mean, how's that protocol? Let's say that happened to Donald J. Trump, right? Donald J. Trump passed out like that. They seen, yes, It's All a Hoax. So me and It's All a Hoax have seen that, I've seen that piece of footage where everybody was passed a letter from the Punisher at George H.W. Bush's funeral. Either that or from John McClane saying, I'm going to get you. It is crazy what the government gets away with, Jeffrey Reynolds. We got some executive producers in here. I'd like to recognize Jeffrey Reynolds, Mercy Seat. And they are members of the BDRP Supernatural that we call the executive producers. If you'd like to become a member, I will put the link in the description box because I thought it was and it actually wasn't. But folks, it's not hard to find. Back in World War II, there was this one very special cat named Joseph Mengele. Joseph Mengele did all those experimentations on twins and whatnot, and he successfully followed through on all this twinning that he was doing. He called it twinning, and that's out there. His twinning was cloning, by the way. They said that his twinning process was a great success. And you know they brought him over with Operation Paperclip, right? Like, why would you execute Joseph Mengele? The man had done all sorts of experiments on twins, separating them in different rooms and different buildings, working every sensation that they had from light all the way to torturous death to see how the other one would react. I don't know how that goes into cloning, but he allegedly successfully and made a viable twin to people, twinning. So if we did it back then and we had Operation Paperclip, which brought all those Nazis over post World War II, then I think it's safe to say that there's been a cloning program somewhere from 1950 onwards. Wouldn't you? Because, and of course, there's a clone facility here in the United States right now. It's in the open. You can look it up in your phone book. But I'll tell you what, folks, that lady ain't even a clone. That's an actress. That had to be some last minute shit. You know what I'm saying? They had to call what's that horse face girl's name? Is our daughter whatever the daughter's name is. They had to call her and say, hey, look here. We have to activate one of them clones. We're gonna come by your apartment and pick her up. Chelsea Clinton. And Chelsea was like, well, you know, it takes an hour or two for us to get her cooked up and ready to go. Like, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in a lookalike. You see, we'll bring in this lookalike. She'll do a cartwheel off the wall, so everybody will think your mom's still alive. And in the meantime, you get that clone going. You get that clone cooked, put it in that easy bake oven, and you get it going. Mercy Seat says even Brazil's former president Kubitschek was part of the Nazi invasion. I had firsthand knowledge of that. No kidding. Well, bro, they were all down in the Brazil, Peru, but mostly Brazil. There were reports the next day after we stormed into Berlin. There were reports off the coast of Brazil that U-boats and submarines were coming up and that there were men in business suits getting off of them and going into these villages. And it's a historical fact that there was a German architect that went to Brazil in the early 1930s and went to a couple of different villages and started building all these German villas. All this German architecture just in engineering just started to pop up. in these small, almost uninhabited villages in Brazil. And now when you go and look, you have German-speaking Brazilians who will straight up tell you with pride, yeah, my granddaddy was a Nazi. My great-granddad was a Nazi. He fought the Americans. They look at it as a point of pride. But nestled away in one of those mountains is this village that has more twins per capita than any place else on planet Earth. And guess where they said old Joseph Mengele went to? So I'll say all that to say this. I used to kind of look out of the corner of my eye at people that talked about clones and cloning. But, I mean, since we've been doing it from the 50s on, this is one thing I don't understand about it, folks. How do they get a clone to be age appropriate? You know what I'm saying? How do they speed up that process? I mean, I'm sure you can use CRISPR-Cas9. The CRISPR-Cas9 system, rather, with just basic genetic materials like skin, blood, soft muscle, hard muscle, soft tissue. You can viably make a human being from just those basic, materials. Now, you can't breathe the spirit of life through its nostrils, and it's going to be an abomination, probably be filled with demonic entities. It'll be like an evil Pinocchio. I could have sworn it was Argentina. Argentina, you're right. Argentina and Brazil, but it was all throughout South America. I mean, I'm sure they had sense enough not to all congregate in one spot. You know what I'm saying? It's on the FBI Black Vault. You can go and look, and there's pictures of Adolf Hitler in Argentina, like it's all a hoax said. And he was in Argentina. He shaved off his trademark mustache and had gray hair, and was sitting back enjoying a cool Pabst Blue Ribboner or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he was alive-o. I don't know, but there's definitely rappers that have been cloned. There's a lot of people that have been cloned, I believe. I think if you get to a certain status, think about it. A lot of these actors and actresses are billionaires. Billionaires with a B. That's 1,000 million. If you take out, let's say, the top 5 highest paid actors in Hollywood, if you were to take them out of America right now and transplant them to China, do you honestly think Uncle Sam's going to allow that to happen? Yeah, this is the land of the free, but do you think that he's going to allow monetarily us to lose that much income, that much money? Or we're looking small scale. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, if you take those men out of America, if they decide amongst themselves today that, you know what, piss on this, we're going to go to Scotland, and they got on their private jets and they shut down their warehouses in a day and gave everybody their severance checks, do you honestly believe they're going to be allowed to do that? You think they have the freedom to do that? In my line of thinking, I think one or two things are going to happen. They're going to be set down in some room as soon as they land. Be like, Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, Bill, listen, we understand that you're billionaires and you can do whatever you want to, but what you're not going to do is take your money out of American banks or take your businesses off of American soil, because you employ tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people, American people. So these are the two things that's going to happen. Number one, you're either going to go back after a few days. You can say y'all went on a vacation or whatever. Or number two, I'm just going to go on ahead and delete you right now from existence. And we're going to go to our cloning facility because we have your genetic makeup. We have your genetic material. We have since you were a kid. And there's been one cooking that looks exactly like all three of y'all. And yeah, we're going to keep trucking like nothing ever happened. And they're going to be under our control because they're clones. They're not you. What decision you think they're going to make? You think they're going to fight that? You may laugh, you may scoff, but that's what happens, folks. Kanye West was talking all sorts. I mean, he was telling Jay-Z not to send shooters after him. You remember that? This is a handful of years ago. I know you got killers, he said. Don't send killers after me. Don't send your hitmen after me. Call me and talk to me. Does anybody remember that? I do. He was telling that man on stage that, hey, I know you're a savage. Please do not kill me. We got some things to talk about. And I didn't tell on your stupid ass yet. but I'm going to if I have to. Next thing you know, he's at Trump Tower with blonde hair, a signal from the MK Ultra program that the wires that were crossed were now fixed. He comes back with some despondent look on his face and blonde hair under the arm of Donald Trump. Now, come on now. Let's get real. He came out talking about he sacrificed his mama for wealth and fame. I have this Flaming Tables Jr. I have this strange theory back in the day that the whole DNA 23 and me find your family thing was really a psyop to gather a large pool of DNA for said purpose. That's exactly what it is. I mean, that there's been so many reports of how inaccurate they are. I'm pretty sure they use the same profiles for a lot of people. They just want your DNA. And people, I mean, they're just quick to throw it at them. But folks, they got facial recognition. They have a dossier on you and me. Probably a huge one on me. I'm going in the woods with monsters that they're trying to convince people are Harry and the Hendersons and where the wall things are, instead of these giant monsters that are as strong as elephants. Yeah, but there's a fall in all of us. But anyways, that's the news, I suppose. You folks stay tuned. We're going to have some shorts and some videos and some Dogman stories and some more live shows and all sorts of good stuff. Make sure you hit like on this video. Even if you didn't like it, I would hit like on it. They say as long as you consciously don't like the video in your mind and hit the like button, it counts as a thumbs down. Hit like, subscribe, share this video, click the bell, become a member, and all that good stuff. We'll see you this afternoon or this evening. Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Thanks for joining me.